So let's, now that we have Elementor set up, let's begin by building the header. And the header is obviously, as it sounds, like a head. It's at the top of the body. A header is the top of a website. And so Elementor actually makes this very easy, whereas before you would have to load a theme up and you would have to kind of, in the back end, add your logo, add what menu you want, and then there might be 5 or 6 styles of menus that you could choose from. With Elementor, everything is done visually, which is great for designers like me. I love that, and it helps me build quicker. So that's why I like Elementor. So let's go and see if we can create your header. So for this WordPress install, I made up a new YWAM location, YWAM Leon, and it's a city in Spain, and I love Spain, so that's why I did it. Shout out to all those who habla el español. I'm planning on doing some Spanish lessons or tutorials on this as well, but for now we'll stick to English in this one. So let's get started. As you can see, Elementor has these 2 new sort of menu links in the back end of WordPress. And so where we're going to go is under templates to template builder. Sorry if you hear me sniffling. It's high allergy season here in South Carolina. So under theme builder, we see that there's these categories which we'll go into little by little so you understand how they work. But essentially what this allows you to do is build a theme. So you don't have to install Divi, you don't have to install the X theme, or what was the other, Innovado. If you've worked with WordPress before, you know kind of the pains of having a theme. So this basically, when you have Hello Elementor theme, like we installed in the last video, basically you're starting from a blank slate. As a designer, I usually build some sort of image graphic in Adobe Illustrator just to get an idea of where I want to go with the design. If you don't have Illustrator, there's other programs that are cheaper, or you could just build from scratch right on the page, which can be hard. Building it separately can help you sort of think through how you want the user to navigate to whatever page for whatever goal you have for the website. So let's get started though. So let's click on header because we're going to build a new header. And we don't have any headers, so we'll just click there. Enter template name, I just say header. Nothing crazy. All right, Elementor is loading up here. And now that I have Elementor Pro installed, as you can see, I had an issue in the first video with connecting my Elementor Pro account because of my internet. Now I'm installed, but you can see on the page that you can actually start from one of these, which is awesome because they have so many different options. And you just kind of pick your style and then change it to however you want. What I'm going to do though is start from scratch, so I just X this out. And this will allow us to understand how it works, and then you can manipulate it better or choose one of the options and manipulate that. So this is generally how Elementor will look. You have a little widget bar right here with all the widgets that you can choose from. And then you have this area where you're building your page. And the plus will always create a new section. And this is like a little file where you can add a template from Elementor, or you can even create your own templates. So we can get into that a little later. So I'm just going to click this plus, so we're going to add a new section, and you have an option to divide it right here. And so we might as well, because we know we're going to do, as general layouts go, logo left side, navigation right side. You can play with that if you want, but as far as user experiences, that's what they're expecting. And so you need to have a good reason and think through why you would change that. even logo centered, it's okay, but it might not be the best option. So if you can, keep the logo to the left side and the navigation to the right side, and you should be a lot better. So let's just do this. So now we have 2 columns, as you can see, and there's a little divider line, divider line here. And so what we're gonna do is if you're in a section, so right now, like right here, we're in this section, so we can edit the section, we can edit the columns right here, and if I get off this section, I just click here, right there, I can edit the columns, and there's different options as well. And then once I drop some stuff in, so what I'm going to do is add an image. So you can see we have all these different widgets, which is awesome because it takes the place of a lot of plugins that you used to have or things like that. And it basically increases your load time because you don't have all these other plugins that have to load with a lot more bulk, with potential to be hacked. And so what we're gonna do is just pull in this image widget right here, drop it, and you see the blue line, boop, like that. You can make the sound effects, it's not necessary, but if you wanna drop things and go boop, then there you go. Okay, so, sorry, I jump around a lot. Here's the image, obviously it's just a placeholder image, so what we wanna do is just, we can click here, to find our image. So what I've done is I've created some mock logos for YWAM Lyon, and here is one of them. I'll have to export the other, and I'll show you why I do 2 logos. It's not necessary depending on your logo design or your website design, but I'll show you one case why you would like 2 logos for your header and the cool functionality behind it. So here we go. There's our logo. It's uploaded. As far as size of the logo image, I go big, and then you can actually choose different sized images. So when you upload an image to WordPress, it automatically creates 3 or 4 other sizes. And I actually try to manipulate those sizes as well because to me they're a bit small, but anyways, that's another story. So as you can see, here's the logo. You can see a little bit of this little checker pattern. That means it's transparent. So any color I put behind it will show through. And then you can see the image size is large. I usually will drop it down to medium, large. That way it looks good on most screens because we're dealing a lot with screen resolutions, high screen resolutions now. And so yeah, so basically that kind of is a good sort of resolution. This one that's built into built into WordPress, and this just means it's 768 pixels by 0. Just means the height can be whatever, so it just limits it to 768 wide to be the resolution. Okay, but so we have that resolution, and it's trying to spread across this whole column. What I'm going to do actually is limit it by pixels. We'll just say 300, see how that looks. That's a good size for it. And then, so that's in style. So you have these tabs here. These are pretty consistent across every Elementor widget or section, element, that sort of thing. So you'll have your content, which gives you some options. You'll have your style, which generally is width, color, fonts, that sort of thing. And then the advanced, you'll be dealing with margins, padding, and then even custom CSS for that particular element. So you can get pretty custom with all this stuff. What I'm going to do is align this over here. Okay, so we have this logo in here. I'll just throw this width to, let's just see if we can do 30, just to make it nice and even. There we go. Okay, so we have that there. These are percentages, so this is 30% now, and this is 70%, or I guess 69.97. And so now what I want to do is add the Nav menu, which I built it out, I think. Let me see if I did, if I remember right. Maybe I didn't. I might have realized my internet wasn't working at that point. So let's quickly build out a menu. We'll call it, this is actually good. So you see, you know, if there's not an option for it, you can click right here, menu screen. So this is taking you to the WordPress menu creator page. So you can see if you need to find it from the back end, you'd look under appearances or appearance and then menu, and you can find it there. So, and we'll just say header menu because we might do a footer menu later. Oops, spelled it wrong. Let's just do that. Not menu-y. All right, we're just gonna load up these 4 pages. And then you can drag and drop these however you want. This would mean it's a sub item, which actually, let's see, staff, vision. We'll just leave it like that for now. Actually, you know what? Here's a little trick. Custom links, if you do URL, hashtag, and then your link text would be about. We'll just say about, like that. Add to menu. What this does is it creates just kind of a dead link where you can add staff and vision under. And there we go. Let's actually change this to about us, just because we have contact us. I like to stay consistent. Okay, so we have our menu. I saved it by clicking Save Menu here. So when you're done, you always need to hit Save Menu, otherwise it won't save your changes. Okay, so let's go back to header. Here we are. Obviously, it's not here because it's not going to load something that was on another page. So what I'm going to do actually is say save draft for now, and then refresh the page. So right here, you can refresh it. Or on a Mac, you do Command R. It might be Control R on PC. All right, let's see if it, all right, so it's already there. You can see, so we've created this vision, staff, about, training, contact us here. Obviously, I don't think I want it right next to the logo. It's not my design choice. So let's put it here on this side. And you can see the colors are, they're just random. You know, they're the default colors of Elementor. And so what we can do is, Elementor has actually a global color setting as well. And so I'll get into that in a little bit, but let's just look at this menu, all the options for the menu. We have a horizontal menu over here. You know, you can align it. You can stretch it all the way across like that. You can put it to the right. And you can, so when I hover over these, you can see that there's an underline. You can change that. So I'm not going to go into each one of these, but you can see that, you know, and play around with these. This is the little drop down arrow. I like that one. It's a little more modern. And then this is kind of a really important section, is the drop down, mobile drop down breakpoint. And so, you know, with each screen size, what you're going to have to do is adjust the design a little bit. And so right here it's saying that the breakpoint will be a tablet. So what that means is, because I have the toggle button as a hamburger menu, when I view this on a tablet, you can see there's the hamburger menu. And this will be the same for the mobile as well. So you can see that. And you can adjust this if you have a short menu, don't have a lot of options on your menu. You can actually change this to just mobile, and it will just show up on mobile. So if I go now to tablet, it still displays this, but let's say if I switch it, it goes back. And so it just depends on your size. You don't want your menu dropping down below necessarily, unless that's how you want to do it. But for now, we'll just leave it at mobile, just to keep it simple. And then we'll do full width, actually. So if we go to mobile, you can see it's here. I don't like the stacked. It's just too much screen space for this. So what I'm going to do actually is take this down. Actually, there's a few ways you can do it. You can actually change the column width, because this image will only stay within this column 100%. And so if you shrink the column, the image is going to shrink down as well. So if I say 50, let's go actually 70. That's a good size. And then 30 to equal 100. So you can see it'll look like that. And let's go back to the menu now, if that's looking okay. And we will adjust this toggle to align to the edge. So you can see that. Another thing that I'm seeing here that I always adjust is you can see that this logo is a little bit taller, so this menu's aligned at the top. You can actually adjust that so that the menu is kind of right in line with the logo. So we can click here and do a vertical align to middle. See, so it just popped it down a little bit, and it should stay the same on the mobile. You can see it's lining up. There we go. And like I said, you know, if you want to add a background to your header, you can add a style. And this is really pretty powerful, the options they give you for this background. You know, the basic one being classic, like that. But then you can even do gradients. So something like that. Obviously that looks horrible. You can even do a video background, which I would not recommend for your header, or a slideshow. So there's all these options. Obviously we can either do classic and do something like a pretty light color, gray, as the background. And yeah, that looks pretty nice. And as far as styling for your nav menu, you can change the text color right here to override it. I'll do a video on global styles as well, but for now we'll just adjust this to say something dark, maybe black will do. There we go. This color picker is actually really nice. Basically you can adjust this bottom bar right here is opacity. And so that's a way you can adjust it, as you can see up on the screen. You know, as I change that, it changes the opacity. And then you can change the color by clicking wherever you want, or right here, kind of adjusting it. And then if you like that color, you can just say add as a picked color into this palette, and you can even move these around however you want or trash them. And so it gives you a little bit of just quick selecting of your brand colors. And this is a good point, because you know, when you're creating a website, there's definitely especially with Elementor, there's so many options. You can choose fonts, you can choose colors. It's good to stick to two colors, two main colors, maybe three, maybe four, but I would say if you're trying to keep things simple, modern, and you don't want to confuse people, it really helps just to have a few colors that you're working with, maybe a dark color for text, that sort of thing, almost black. And that way you show that you're consistent in your branding, which looks good, which helps the user feel like they can trust you actually, because yeah, you just are putting forth a more professional face. So there we have it. We have this menu, which this color is horrible. We'll change it to that. All right, so say we're happy with this. What we're gonna do is click Publish. And then it's gonna ask you, where do you want to display your template? So we're gonna say add a condition, and we can say the entire site. So there's, you know, other reasons you would do another header. For instance, if you had a transparent background on one, but you wanted a solid color background on another page, then you could set up these conditions. So say I wanted to just include it on all singular pages. Boom, I would be able to do that. For now, we'll just do the entire site. Just click Save. It's there, it says, yay, your header's live, have a look. There's our beautiful header. Not sure what's going on with the drop-down arrow. Could be because it's a preview page. Let's see if I go to the home page. Let's see if I can do that here. Yeah, so we'll have to figure out what's going on with the arrow, but that's no big deal. Anyways, so if you followed along, thank you. I hope this was helpful for you. I know there's probably a lot more questions as well. We could get into a little bit more of the styling of the responsive menu, but this should get you get your hands dirty enough to play around and learn a bit more about Elementor. So you can also create your footer, which is obviously at the foot of your page, and you can do it in the same way. So I'm not sure if I'll create a video for that, but maybe as we build out the site, I can throw in a few other extras. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Put it in the comments. And yeah, till next time. Ciao.